He sneezed on me this morning. Get the Lysol wipes and disinfectant and the neon orange vomit powder. But speaking of vomit and all things orange. Oh my god, vomit powder is so stupid. Remember that from elementary school? I always used to think it looked like nuclear or something. It was just so weird. I always thought it'd be funny if there was like a comedy sketch where a custodian was sitting in his back office, like ordering something for a catalog, and he was trying to find the best vomit powder to be ordered. I wonder what the best brand is. But anyway, I digress. It's not what I'm talking about. But speaking of vomit and all the things going on lately in the media, all the craziness in the world, for which I have been searching for the real answers to why they are occurring. One of my friends said she went into her local Rite Aid today, and only to see debris all over the floor, no toilet paper, of course, 80s music blasting from the speakers, and yet the only thing that really was very well stocked was the greeting card selection. Seasonal greeting cards. So, of course, I had to have my smart aleck moment regarding that. And I was like, greeting cards, you say? Oh, this is giving me ideas. Just better not be the glitter or the bejeweled greeting cards in my mind. But no, seriously, anything to take that smug smile off that birthday T-Rex's face. Or mess over that gold-hoarding leprechaun this St. Patrick's Day. That's what I say seriously to that. And as to the 80s music, wake me up before I have to go. After getting ideas regarding the greeting cards, paper greeting cards, you say? That said, and concerning all this week's activities, this was something I actually just grabbed this still right as the press conference was panning out to review the entire panorama. Oh, isn't it beautiful? Wow. Now that I think of it, it's only mid-March. Those cherry blossoms are really rockin'. That grass is green. What the hell's going on in DC? Although I guess they are kind of pretty much south. But anyway, this was my observation yesterday. Upon watching the Non-Wonder's latest press conference and certain observations, the gathering of what looks like more than 250 people, all standing close, reporters in particular. Everybody up on the podium standing in close proximity. Shaking hands and breathing in the same mic without even cleaning it off before each use. Doctors not even taking their own advice. Too much cognitive dissonance here for my taste. So this is what I noticed, and then I posted this on Facebook just to let everybody know that I had noticed it. And then my friend said, oh yeah, I was watching them gather right before the press conference, and reporters were just coughing and sneezing into their hands, just not even taking caution, or how you're supposed to cough into your nose. So that was weird. I mean, this whole thing just feels weird to me. But as far as that, here's a digression. This is something that I got. It was an official bulletin. It was fourth quarter 2019, so I meant to do this around Christmas. And isn't it just such a great Christmas themed cover, particularly if you see in light down here, number 666, now available online. I don't know, because of the pyramid and because it reminded me of this. Just the basic glowiness of the pyramid. It just, as soon as I saw it, I thought of this. And then I scrolled down and saw that it was 666. And of course, I got it right before Christmas. So, all those things tie into together if you understand just the lore and the origins, and the heads hanging off Christmas trees as balls, or balls hanging off the heads of Christmas trees, just as long as they're not balls hanging off Christmas trees. All right, I'm going to stop. And then it also kind of reminded me of this. And Amadeus was a Mason, and his father would come to him in an Eyes Wide Shut mask and make him write, well, not his father, but Salieri masquerading as his father. The dueling composer would come to his door late at night and say, have you finished the Requiem? At which point Wolfgang would go insane. It was a really great movie, though. It was actually kind of a horror movie in my mind. And just really, really great, inspired art for what it was. And the play is really good too, except the play, is quite different than the movie. And it really makes Salieri, When I saw Mozart crawling around on the floor almost blind by the end of it, and Salieri standing over him, I'm like, that's the Illuminati versus the common man. I mean, it was really, really spooky. And I think this movie kind of really is about that. And also stifling creative freedom and what they like to do to creative people. Because I don't think, and they've even said this, that if the world is in fact run by shape-shifting reptilians or essentially disembodied spirits from another planet, they don't get creativity and they are no friend to the creative man or woman. And then this is another one I've been meaning to share for a while. So one of my subscribers, I don't know if he wants me to name him, but he's got a really cool name. Actually, he's got a name in Spanish of a guy I went to college with. I don't know if it's that same guy. Hey, same guy, if that's you, let me know. And I meant to ask you that when you emailed me. But anyway, this guy sent this really cool and supportive email. He goes, so I find an old receipt in a drawer. It's from a restaurant in Oakland. I figured I haven't been there since about 2011 or so. Look at the date. What gives? I'm going to be out of town this 6/6, or else I'd go there to relive this dinner for which I already have the receipt. What's your take on this? I feel I should point out the restaurants in Oakland, California for the added geographical texture of your widespread viewership deserves. Nice. Such a fun and interesting channel you've got. Keep it up. I'll always send you Densploration type stuff if I find it. That is cool. This guy's cool. But anyway, if we go down to the date, I almost said scroll down. It has, well, I think it's kind of cool because it has it has 8s and 3s and 2s and a 7, which are cool. Those are kind of key numbers in my life for my reasons and my reasons alone. And then it's got cheese on it, which my life and the media is full of right now. We witness all the cheese. And then it's got 641, which 4s and 1s are also a signature number in my life. And then if you scroll, look at me. If you look all the way over to the right-hand side of the screen, 6620. Now, the only thing I could think is that they might have, maybe it was 20 and then the last two numbers rubbed off, but neither do the numbers look rubbed off, nor does the margin look like it would support any more numbers as if you compare it to the other side. And most restaurants do only put the last two numbers of the year, and it certainly does not look photoshopped. Looks a little darker on the other side, but those are probably fingerprints because it looks a little lighter over here for a watermark. And the thing below the PM looks like a grease-stained fingerprint. But who wouldn't from all that cheese? And then, of course, we've got more regarding the COVID-19. This is a rather morbid article that I read discussing how in the open markets, just all the blood and guts of animals get combined and they're called wet markets. And then people breathe in everyone's fluids, including the animal fluids. And then that's how they get sick. And they included snakes and civets into the mix this time. I don't know that we've ever included a snake in the mix for these, but it was kind of funny because last week I was kind of riffing on the whole idea of like, well, why do they get so stressed out if it jumps from animal to human? Because if it jumps from animal to human, then it infects humans and it's an upper respiratory problem, except for the fact of if it mutates more, because obviously if it can mutate enough to jump from animal to human, that's dangerous enough in and of itself. And then if it mutates quickly to the point where it kills you, then that's when it gets dangerous. But of course, I have always said, and also said, that one of the most interesting conspiracy theories, albeit outlandish to me, is the whole idea of shape-shifting reptilians. Now, I know it's laughable. I know I've made fun of it. I don't purport to know that it's a true thing. But as outlandish conspiracy theories go, I think it's one of the most interesting. And then my friend, of course, goes, well, coronavirus started in snakes. So that was kind of my theory. I was like, well, why are they freaking out so much out of this? Because even when we had SARS and monkeypox and MERS, they never freaked out quite as much as they're freaking out about this, like closing shit down. And I'm just trying to find the real reason for it. So my friend goes, well, you know that snakes were one of the animals that it started in those wet markets. So I'm not going to read the whole article. I was thinking about it, but I'm running a little short on time because my friend's going to come and pick me up soon. But I just thought that was a really, really interesting statement that she said. Then come to find out, listening to the news this morning, that everybody coming back into LA from Europe that's allowed on this travel ban Nobody's getting tested. Not everybody's getting asked where they've been or where they've traveled. And almost nobody's temperature is getting taken. So it's kind of fishy, no pun intended, although I don't think they're discussing fish at these wet markets. But it's really weird. And what I've done down below is also post in another video, because I think I've told you guys I'm really, really into the follow the money videos right now. And the channel that I posted it from is pretty left leaning, but they're not at all corporate. Like, basically they believe in fighting for the little guy. So it's not to try and like convert anybody politically or sway anybody politically, but if you watch the first half of it, it really is about the follow the money of why and what they're doing regarding this this virus, not the market, and the shutdown of everything. And this is another interesting thing, albeit metaphorical. Trump calls Governor Inslee a snake over COVID-19. Doesn't the last name Inslee sound kind of like a snake slithering? It's just so bizarre. And I almost wonder too, it's like I can't stand, it's like the virus itself doesn't so much scare me. And also too, just the way people are treating it and just the way authorities are treating it, that doesn't scare me. But what scares me is just all the hoarding, all the like panic. Like a part of me feels like somebody was put up to going to all the stores and stealing the toilet paper in hopes that we would read into the fact, not stealing it, but taking it all, in hopes that we would read into the fact that this story about the coronavirus is kind of a little bit full of shit. I mean, I don't know. I mean, obviously, I believe, again, like I said about the media, I don't think it's all lies, but I think it's a lot of partial truths, which can be more serious or more dangerous than just lies, because they're harder to see through. So yes, I mean, God forbid anyone gets the virus, and God forbid it ends up being as serious as they say it is. I'm not trying to make light of that, but what I don't like is just this freak out mentality, and I don't like the hoarding mentality. And again, I almost wonder if somebody put people up to going and let us fuck with them. They will see this is full of shit. I don't know why I said it in that voice, but anyway, it just seems weird that all the toilet paper is going, and it's just annoying. It's like a hoarding mentality. And yesterday, this is a great story. My friend went into our local grocery store, and this celebrity starlet was in there, and he's like, she's got the face, she's young, she's attractive, she just is entitled seeming. She's got the face you've seen before, you've seen her on something. But she basically said to one of the stock boys, she goes, I want all the gallon bottles of water. I want to buy all the gallon bottles of water in the store. And the kid comes back and he's like, sorry, we only have 3 1-gallon bottles of water because we haven't restocked. And she left in a huff. And my friend kind of spilled coffee on her shoes, which was awesome. He's like, I spilled coffee on her cross trainers that she doesn't even cross train in. I just know it. So he spilled coffee on it a little bit. Like, he just like shook his coffee cup a little bit, not intentionally, and it splattered. It wasn't like a big deal. So she left and she was all upset. And then another person from my neighborhood goes back later in the day, and they're like, oh yeah, now they're only allowing people 2 1-gallon bottles of water. So they're limiting what folks can buy. And that's what should be happening, because that's what's going to fuck shit up. But also, too, I worry about the economy, which the video link that I'm posting down below gets into. They kind of compared it to The Big Short, and just how it's all against the working man and the little guy, which is what I feel like most people in the truther community are fighting for anyway. But that said, I just, I wonder what these movies like Contagion and Outbreak do to people, because I feel like those like get it primed in people's minds of like, oh yes, life-threatening pandemic. And that fuels the madness too, whether this truly is life-threatening or not, which it seems to be not, unless you're over 80 or unless you have a health condition or there's some other fluke that goes on. But there's just a lot of stuff I wonder about, but the video down below helps explain it. And again, it's a follow the money answer that I've been looking for. Other than that, and that said, this was another article I found this week in looking for more answers. I haven't had a chance to read it yet, but I have a feeling it, talks about the disease coming from more animals. But that said, I just wanted to touch base with you guys, talk to you guys. I have all these videos stacked up that I'm wanting to make, and since work is so busy, stupid, loud anymore, and since I don't have a private desk anymore, I I think this is a good solution for now, just printing up papers from the internet and showing you as if I would on a computer, even though it's not scrolling. All right, that's about all. I hope you guys have a great weekend. And of course, as always, I welcome any of your observations about any of the topics discussed. And I guess that's about all. And peace out. And here's to finding enough toilet paper to settle you in for the week. Although, greeting cards, I'm telling you, greeting cards, as long as they're not bejazzled, bejeweled or bejazzled or have glitter on them or like are prickly in any way, you could definitely use the greeting cards that they're still all stocked up on at CVS's and Rite Aids and all that crap. All right, peace out.